Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to explain why this new form of technical analysis is critical for your success, how we used it to nail the Facebook and Google lows today, but we gave you the levels yesterday. Our CRISPR heads up worked. Watch Netflix tomorrow, the stock, not the service. How to mentally prepare yourself like a pro, our precise daily stock levels, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. Very important thing about technical analysis, why you needed to watch these trend lines. They're so magical. Certain things happen. Miracles can happen. Can I nail the day low of every single stock every single day? No, I can't. But what I can do is I could give you very important levels to watch, and I'll always nail something every single day. I'll always nail some day low every single day, and I think that's the important thing to watch over here. So we're going to go just right over to Facebook. And again, these are the levels we're giving you yesterday. Watch yesterday's show of the Newsbeat Live. Watch it. Watch it. It's very simple. Level we gave you as a low yesterday for Facebook today was 194.21. The day lows was 194.13. We were 8 cents off. Even if we were 50 cents off, that would be amazing. We were 8 cents off. That is the power of algorithmic trend lines. We also, if you want, and we nailed the low of Google. We were phenomenally accurate to the day low of Google as well. And you guys really just need to keep an eye on some of these levels. But the good news is it's very easy to be capped in hindsight. I mean, again, we talked about the levels yesterday. I think that technical analysis should allow you to consistently, with a form of accuracy of 70% or more, read the future in the market, read the future moves. Like, for example, when the Qs were at day lows today in the room, I'm like, hey guys, the Qs are going to bounce now if we break 175. And this was the triple Qs. Here we gap down today. Here it is. We gap down, we're pulling. I said, guys, if we flush 175, we flush 175. We were trading 174.90s. I'm like, guys, the Qs are going to bounce right now. Did I know that it was going to look like this? Did I know that we were going to go from 174.94 all the way, $1.70 higher, $1.71 higher by a little after 11 o'clock? No. But here's the point. Here's the point I'm making. If you were to buy down here at the day lows of the Qs, where we called it in real time, even if you sold it when it popped 20, 30 cents, you're good. I mean, all right, let's say you missed $1.50. Let's say you missed 80% of the move. It's kind of funny how so many traders are coming to me talking about the moves they missed, and I'm going to teach you something today. I am literally going to teach you something today, mental preparation, how to mentally prepare yourself like a pro. And we're going to cover that today, of course, after we get through our schedule. So looking at our schedule, we have the Facebook and Google lows. Why this new form? The new form of technical analysis is a methodology that I invented using 40,000. I honestly believe it's 50,000. I can't confirm that. I can confirm it's over 40,000 hours of work. And again, I keep adding on to the time and develop this methodology with trend lines, which allows you to accurately read the market. I feel like too many things out there are very easy to look at a chart. Like people look at a chart like Amazon, and you'll say, okay, what do you think of Amazon here, Mark? And, I'll look at this chart just like you will, and I'll be like, it's bullish. And it's like, yeah, am I really bringing value to you by looking at this chart telling you it's bullish? Or, for example, looking at Facebook and telling you it's bullish? Or looking at Netflix here and telling you it's bullish, which is going to be one of our highlighted names today. Am I really bringing any form of value to you? Absolutely not. And that's the problem with the industry. It's full of fluff and it's full of useless information. And some people are able to take this useless information and make something of it. But there's the other 95, 96% of traders who look at me and be like, I too see Netflix is bullish, Mark. What do we do here? Well, I'm going to break it down for you and I'm going to tell you exactly what I'll do. But first, I'm going to talk about CRISPR. in which we said I got a lot of love mails for this one today, so I figured I'd go over it. And we're talking about the Barron's article in which CRISPR was going to head higher, and I said look for CRISPR to gap up today. Again, we talked about this yesterday, so tomorrow I'll probably be talking about the things I'm talking with you about today. So again, the market's been heading lower. We've been, flushing lower, sliding lower, whatever you want to call it. And I think when you watch key support levels, that it's very good to be able to buy low and sell higher. I think that is the correct mentality. And again, when it comes to consistency, I'm second to none. I am not bragging. I am just telling you the truth. And the reason for that is because I employ this methodology. Again, I will be wrong, but I'll be wrong two, three times for every 7 times, 8 times I'm right. And that will be consistent throughout the entire year. So looking at CRISPR here, we talked about the Barron's article. We said watch the stock to see if it could break through 62.75 today. That's exactly what happened. It broke through 62.75. Remember, it was gapped down $1 after hours on Friday. And we were talking about this Sunday night that this was going to gap up and potentially break 62.75. And that's exactly what happened here. That's why news is so important, because most people look at this CRISPR chart. I actually got an email like, this is what CRISPR looked like when we were talking about it. This is the daily chart of CRISPR before today when we were talking about it yesterday. And I basically came out here and I was explaining to people on this chart, people said, Mark, it looks like a bear flag digestive pattern. Everything I learned taught me that this setup is bearish. And I looked at them and I said, you know what? It doesn't look that bullish to me either. But you have to know when the news can overcome the technicals. It's a gorgeous confluence of phenomena when you could get, the positive news and the bullish setup all together in one before it explodes and you're part of that move. And believe me, nothing in the world is a better feeling than that. But the news did beat out the technicals in this situation, and that's why you ended up putting in a big green bar. The truth is, it still doesn't look that bullish to me. Doesn't mean you can't make money to the upside. Doesn't mean the stock didn't bounce 3.5 points today off the day low. So moving on along, we're gonna take a look at Netflix, not the stock, not the service. We're gonna take a look at Netflix here because it's very easy to be Captain Hindsight. I don't want to be that person telling you, what happens tomorrow after it already happens. I want to tell you what can happen tomorrow, today. Otherwise, I'm bringing no value to you. Again, I'd rather be wrong and put my ass on the line, excuse my language, than just come to you and simply say, oh, okay, look, you broke out here. Like, yes, South Park, Captain Hindsight. There's a person who does that. He sees the buildings on fire and he says what they should have done and they should have left room in between the buildings. And if they only built a fire escape here, that would have really helped in this situation. And that's, I think, one of the biggest problems in the market. Most traders think like Captain Hindsight. I'm going to tell you how to mentally prepare after this and how to help you as a trader. And I'm going to bring a ton of value for you in just a moment. But again, that is the mentality of most traders. Most traders are looking at the market. You know how many people ask me to analyze stocks for them as it's going through day highs? How many of you guys are asking me to analyze stocks for you as they're breaking day highs? And I'm like, well, what do you want me to say? The pullback to support is much further down now. It's very easy to look at a stock going through day highs and think that it's bullish. That is, I think, the number you want to, trade. I was asked this question a couple months ago. I forgot the name. I can search for the email. A trader asked me, what is the number one reason why intraday traders lose money? And I say it's because they see a stock going through day highs and they feel they need to be part of it, as if they're going to miss a boat and it's going to shoot up without them. And sometimes it will, sometimes it won't, but it is the wrong way to trade. So I'm going to share with you how I feel on Netflix here. What you need to actually watch for tomorrow. Where actually the market just really, really flushed. Oh man, the market just got pounded, so we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, tariffs, being thrown on China, maybe that's affecting it. Let me give you my analysis on Netflix. critical level here on Netflix to watch for a potential buy tomorrow. $385.49. That is going to be this little wedge support here. If you do break a little through that level, I'm probably going to buy Netflix calls. Let's talk about an incorrect prediction I made last Wednesday, which ironically everyone made money on, was I thought Netflix was going to go to $400 when we were speaking on Wednesday, and I thought it was going to happen by Friday. And by Friday we hit 398.86, so I was a little bit off on that level, and I was wrong. Nothing changed though with my price target of 400 on Netflix. I don't think that's a bold call anymore. I mean, anyone could look at this and say, Netflix is going to go to 400. Every single person, a million traders could tell you Netflix is going to 400. How many of those traders could tell you where they would buy Netflix tomorrow? 380, well, the Newsbeat live room, of course, could do so, but you guys as well. 385.49 is going to be the level I look to buy Netflix tomorrow. You see this digestion of volume? You see how the volume constantly is being lowered over here, down here in this volume? That is a perfect bull flag falling wedge setup. This is such a beautiful formation. I want to make out with this chart. The last chart I made out with, and it was a really long makeout session, was right over here on Footlocker. And Footlocker looked like this to us, remember? Footlocker looked like this. And I basically came out and said I wanted to make out with this chart, and this is what ensued in Footlocker. And then it just started climbing and climbing and climbing, and we sold out and we crushed this trade. Very nice overnight idea. And again, we didn't forget about those overnight ideas for you guys too. I want to make out with this Netflix chart. I want to make out with it. What's my idea of making out? For maybe a July 400, 420 call spread, maybe straight shares if you're crazy, maybe just straight calls. That's what I'm thinking about. That's my idea of making out with Netflix. You want to talk about a romantic comedy? This is my romantic comedy in Netflix. This is where I want to buy Netflix. I mean, I'm going to give you all the levels, but 385.49. I think it's going to retest the all-time high. I think we're going to bust through 400. See, it's kind of funny because when I was running a trading floor, it was kind of funny that so many traders would look at the same stock, and so many traders would say a stock is going up. However, 70% of the traders bought the stock and lost money, and 30% of the traders bought the same stock and made money at different levels. That's why levels are so important. That's why somebody telling you just something is bullish without following up any information, like, yeah, I'll look at Netflix and say it's bullish, but that's not where the sentence ends. You have to give more color, otherwise you're wasting people's time. So with that, I'm going to talk about our mental preparation, and I'm going to teach you guys how you can think like a pro, how you can actually think like a pro, and how you could prepare like a pro. And I think this is like one of the more, definitely one of the more important things, because I think too many traders out there really don't get it. So I want to explain what really causes your losses. Like, people don't understand, like, how many traders, in any given room. How about you, for example, making decisions and taking action to deal with whatever issue is bothering you can make you lose money in the market. What happens outside the market tends to follow you in when you're trading. Girlfriend was being nasty to you, your boyfriend was being nasty to you, you got into an argument with your friend, your neighbor, your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter, something traumatic happened to you recently. These things, unfortunately, as we are human beings, do follow us into the market. So I want to teach you some steps here, strategies that you could do to really segregate your trading from everything that's happening around you. First thing I want you to do is, the first thing we're going to talk about is attempting cognitive distancing. And your mind is trying to actually, when you're looking at the market, believe it or not, your mind is actually trying to protect you by predicting what could happen. That's why you said, oh, I thought it could go higher. Oh, I thought this. Your mind is putting these things in motion for you to try to protect you. But just because something could happen, of course, does not always mean it will. Look at objective evidence. How likely is it that the negative outcome will actually happen? Is there anything good that might happen instead? And which do you think is more likely to happen based on past experience and other information you have about the situation? That is why when I give a strategy, I need to make sure it works a lot more times than not, because my brain is going to automatically click in it after a while through this training of what a good setup looks like. Another thing when you're trading, try cognitive diffusion. So we talked about attempting cognitive distancing. Try cognitive diffusion. Stop being fused with your thoughts. Think of your thoughts as moving data passing through your mind rather than the objective truth about the situation. That's why, when people use the word like truth in trading, like it's like red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Our brains are so hypersensitive to threat and danger because this kept our ancestors alive in the wild. Some of your thoughts may just be automatic conditioned reactions generated by a brain that is oriented for survival. Choose whether or not to believe these thoughts rather than just accepting them, and you will find that you make a lot more money in the market. I gave you guys 2 things. You want more? You want 3? Okay. Practice mindfulness. Practice observing your thoughts rather than reacting automatically to them. Think of your thoughts as clouds floating by, which draw you in and make you want to run away. Is there a way you can untangle yourself and just observe your thoughts rather than reacting? You ever stop and try to segregate yourself from yourself? You ever notice that when your brain is looking at something, you say, oh, this stock could go up here. Did you ever stop and ask, why do I think it could go up here? Why? Now, the majority of you in the room who have taken my course, who follow the methodology, you guys are gold. But for those people who are not taking my course and are watching in, especially for free, like on a YouTube or Facebook, I want to try to bring value to you guys. You have to stop and pull yourself away from the trade and say, why do I want to buy it here? If you can't answer yourself with a damn good reason or 2, pass on the trade. So, next, I want you guys want more? We went through 3. That's not enough? All right, let's do more. We'll go through 4. Your mind, I want you to focus on a direct experience. Your mind makes up stories about who you are as a trader and about your safety and lovability as a trader. You want to be right. You're talking amongst your friends in a chat room. You're talking amongst your peers in a room. You're talking to your wife about your trading day, your husband about your trading day. They're asking you what's going on. You want to be right. However, stop making up stories of who you are as a trader. Stop lying to yourself as a trader. Not all the stories you tell yourself are accurate. Me being one of the victims at one point in my life. Sometimes our minds are biased by negative past experiences. What is your experience in the present moment as a trader? I don't care how many millions of dollars you made back in 1999, in 2000, and 2001. In fact, I don't even care how much money you made last year. I only want you to focus on the now and in the present. Notice they're not the same thing. What is your experience in the present moment is something that is actually happening or something that might happen. And when you look at the market, you have to approach the mentality of something that might happen based on what is happening. That's the whole point of forward analysis. That's the whole point of me giving you tomorrow's levels today, which I will be doing shortly after this. That is a very important thing. Remember, focus on something that might happen ahead of time before you actually jump and get sucked in the moment. Next thing is I want you to label things. Label the type of thought you're having. I'm thinking like a complete, negative Nancy, rather than paying attention to its content. So what do I mean by that? When you're watching your thoughts as a trader, and again, this is hard to explain, but I want to make it as relatable as possible for you. When if you notice you're getting worried, for example, about a certain trade that you might experience a fail or a loss, label it as worrying. If you're criticizing yourself, like, oh my God, like, I can't do this. This is too crazy. I can't do this. I want you to label that thought as criticizing. This gets you away from the literal content of your thoughts and gives you more awareness of your mental processes. Do you want to be spending your time judging and worrying? Are there less judgmental or worried ways to see your current situation? I promise you there are. Next is I want you to stay in the present. Is your mind regurgitating the past? Do you remember the heydays? Do you remember when trading was very negative or very good? Just because something, for example, in the past was negative doesn't mean it has to happen today. Ask yourself if the circumstances or your knowledge and coping abilities have changed since the last time you did that idiotic negative trade. As an adult, which I hope you are, you have more choice about whom to associate with and more ability to identify, preempt, or leave a bad situation than when you were a child or teenager. If you do not feel the willing to grow today, if you are the type of trader who does not try to grow today, then I ask you, what is the point of tomorrow? Got a little passionate, you got to excuse me. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to broaden your view. Are you focusing too narrowly on the threatening aspects of a situation rather than seeing the whole picture in the market? Anxiety makes our minds contract and focus on the immediate threat. I'm going to lose money. I'm going to do this without considering the broader context. Is this situation really as important as your anxiety says it is? Will you still care about this problem in 5 or 10 years? If not, ease up on your worries in the market. Next thing is I want you to get up and get going. Worrying over an issue without creating a solution will not help you solve the problem. Welcome to every single woman I've ever met in my entire life. Worrying about an issue without creating a solution will not ever help you solve a problem. It's kind of funny, and actually, I have a perfect yin yang with my wife as a result because she'll point out what she's worried about the situation, and I'll just point out the solution, and it's a perfect situation. She'll come with a problem, and I'll try to solve it. It's just the mentality. Granted, she has like 10 times my IQ and is more amazing of a person than I'll ever be, but now that I got the brown nosing aside, you know, I want you when you're trading, um, I want you when your mind is stuck, for example, in a negative loop, right? Let's say your mind is stuck in a negative loop when you're trading. You can interrupt it by getting up and moving around, doing a different task or activity. When you sit back down, you should have a different perspective. Too many traders do not stand up from their chair, walk around, and come back. And of course, if you took my master class, definitely keep the foods handy. You should see like what I have near me. I have like dark chocolate, I have like celery, I have all these healthy foods around me that keep my brain power going. You think it's hard to watch the market as a trader? I'm sitting here tracking like a lot of hundreds of your names as well as mine, and believe me, it's not my attention deficit disorder, which does help a little, to be honest, but it's more of the fact that I'm feeding my brain and um, keeping strong mentally. And last but not least, I'll give you one more thing and then we'll share the levels and everything. Even if your thought is true when it comes to trading, doesn't mean it's helpful to focus on it. For example, my account went from 40,000 to 20,000. My account went from 100,000 to 30,000. Focusing on that is not only going to prevent you from making money, it's actually going to hurt you. And it doesn't even have to be an account size. You could be like, yesterday I lost 5 grand and now I'm up 2 grand. Just making a random example. You might not feel good about the 2 grand when in fact you should. If only 1 in 10 people will become a successful trader and you keep thinking about those odds, you may become demotivated and not even bother applying yourself. This is an example of a thought that is true but not helpful. Focus your attention on what is helpful and let the rest go. The truth is, members of the Newsbeat Live community have the highest retention rate in the nation. We have more successful traders percentage-wise from people who join up than anywhere else in the nation. I just need you to get on the same page with me, on the same mentality. I call you guys up on the phone. I talk to you guys here during this Newsbeat show. I'm always trying to put myself out there to really lift you guys up as best as I can. Stay positive. We're going to hit a home run this week. You heard it here first, 90% chance. So with that being said, we're going to go into our precise daily analysis. Very simple. We have all our support and resistance levels for tomorrow, okay, including that 385.49 level that I gave you right over here on Netflix. We have that key level there as well. Just let's go over the charts real quick. Triple Q support right here. You got triple Q support at 174.68. That's a bit lower here if you want to flush down tomorrow. Resistance will be 177.89, still denoted by the all-time high. Spiders, 275.45. That's a trend line drawn right over here. Excuse me, that's a trend line drawn right over here, 275.45. And this is going to be the key level to hold up tomorrow on the spiders. And your simple breakout on the spiders, 277.95. That's also your resistance level right over here. And of course, Facebook, our level nailed the day low yesterday. We're using the same trend line tomorrow for this potential level 194.18 located right here. And I'm watching your new breakout level 199.58. Don't worry, I'm going to show you all these levels yet again, and I'm going to share them all with you. Don't worry about it. And of course, we have Apple here. Don't worry if you miss a level. Again, I'll share it with you, let you screenshot. You could always watch this video. 187.09 right here, true support on Apple. Your true resistance on Apple will be right over here, $189.21. The ever so amazing Amazon, right over here, you got a nice support actually right over here, $1,713.32 right over here on Amazon, and you have your resistance right at the all-time high, which, believe it or not, was made today, $1,726.74. The makeout chart, in which I want to make out with, and buy option calls in $400 strikes. Again, some people are like, Mark, I don't trade options. Anytime I give you an option trade, 99.999999% of the time, you can do it as a stock trade. I just feel that options are less risk with my methodology, and they are. $385.49 support on Netflix. Breakout on Netflix, I'm giving you resistance is today's high, $393.16. And last but not least, it's Google with an L as opposed to GOOG. I almost feel like Snoop Dogg, like the DOGGY. It's the GOOG, but it has an L at the end. Very simple breakout here on Google. I'm going to watch this level all the way back here to January 30th, 2018. $1,187.93 will be your breakout trigger on Google of resistance, and your support if Google does want to pull in tomorrow, which is always my favorite levels to buy, $1,159.06. And if you want to copy, you want to screenshot, you want to take all these levels and watch them, print them out, set alerts on them, whatever software you're using. You want to potentially, maybe you like one of these names. These are just popular names. The truth is, on the full stock analysis, I break down every single name that you might be watching. Now let's get into our game plan. Just a couple names here. First is Sogo. Again, a little Chinese name exploding here. We'll see if this stock gets... I look at this and I'm like, what does $50 billion in tariffs have to do with this company? Zero. Absolutely nothing. It is absolutely useless, these tariffs in terms of negativity for this company. All-time high is $15.50 done today. I'm looking for a follow-through. Next is Stitch Fix, a name I'm actually very heavy in, and people have a hard time realizing this, that I actually made more money in Stitch Fix as of right now than in sale. I mean, technically, I haven't made a single penny in sale because I bought shares and I didn't sell, so I have this obnoxiously large unrealized profit, and I'm trying to really tap into my my inner Zen, my inner Kathy, as I say, and just really try to let this thing get above $30. But fact remains, I made more money on Stitch Fix than I have on sale, ironically. Nonetheless, I'm giving you a level here, $28.19 for your breakout on Stitch Fix. And of course, you guys want my Forex trades if you would like them. They're just some trades I throw in every single night, and I share with you exactly. It's 100% transparency. You get my here's my Euro New Zealand dollar trade, which was doing really well, and then now I'm actually down a little bit of money in it. It's actually it's down about as much as I was up before. I'm still in this one. I put in 9 new orders, including a short order. I just want to point out this 9 standard lots, which for me on a multiplicative basis, it actually turns out, I mean, I know it's kind of ridiculous, but this is actually a tremendous trade. It's 135 US standard lots when you consider all the accounts I'm managing combined. All these numbers are actually multiplied by 15. This is just the master account. And you get all my trades. You get buys, sells. Here's my size in US standard lots. I just wanted to point out that the 9 in Euro US dollar is not a typo. Here's the symbol in which I am looking to buy or sell these names. Here's the price in which I'm looking to get filled, all the way 5 decimal places out if you need. Here's my stop loss if I get filled and I'm wrong. Here's my take profit if I get filled and I'm right. So again, I've been putting in a lot of Forex orders recently with the setups, and it's easy to see that I have a good feeling about the Euro US dollar trade. Truth is, most of these trades don't get filled, but that's just how I roll. I don't pay much attention to it outside of what I do tonight either. And of course, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into our full stock analysis. That is for Newsbeat Live members only. We're the fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money, and we'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat Live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.